Happy Veterans Day. Yeah. Happy Monday night for those of you that are joining us back here in the studio doing some work on some RC crawlers or maybe some other RCs, depending upon what we get into. Probably not tonight. Let's see. Tonight on the schedule, which I said I was going to add a schedule to the actual post. I guess I need to do that. Let's see if I can do that now. Posts. Say something about this live video. Let's see if this all works out. Will work. Let's see. SSD. Wow, my typing skills. No bueno. Let's see what's happening here. Tonight on the schedule, we have a SSD. Well, now I've never seen that before. As I'm typing into the comment, I'm just gonna have to do that later. I was trying to add the schedule of what we were going to do to the description of the video, but apparently whatever I type in is coming out backwards. So I was going to type in SSD Dana 60 and it was giving me 06D, let's see, DSS. I don't know. I have to figure that out next time. Should be a fun show tonight though. We are going to be working on the H2 SCX10 a little bit more. We've got some of our SSD parts we're going to install. We've already got for those that didn't join us last time, we've got the rear axle installed. That's the rear SSD Dana 60 axle. Last week we took our front out. The guts are up there. It's quite disgusting. May have to run out and grab some bearings in the middle of the show, so that'll be fun. Let's see what else we have. Getting this into the truck will probably be, it's definitely going to be different than, hey, what's up, Matthew? Your King Jero is boxed up. I have a tracking number somewhere. I don't have it on me. I'm in a different computer, but we will get that out to you tomorrow. So where was I? Let's see. Guts, bearings. We're going to put a Dana 60 in the H2. We're probably going to have to modify it, make a 3-link bracket after the fact. So this will go in, and I'm guessing that the steering linkage will not line up correctly because I run the links on these knuckles in a high steer configuration. True high steer. Yes, Leon. Go Tigers. For those of you that aren't fans of college football, I apologize, but I did go to LSU, so I had a good weekend. Haha. For those of you that are Alabama fans, hey, you guys have beaten us for 8 years in a row, so I don't feel bad for you, but I'm sure you'll beat us again one day. Product placement. Huh? No. I do like the service cups. So we've got our Dana 60. We're going to get into this. Time permitting, we will have a little bit of work possibly with a Hey-OK controller. I've got some TF2 shock hoops I will bust out and maybe put in. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, yes, those wheels. I actually put that there for people to see them because you guys are going to be shocked. I washed everything. Oh, they're so clean now. I mean, they're not perfect, but I didn't wash the body. So actually, I didn't wash everything. I washed the wheels. But I'm going to set the H2 aside for just a second. Show you guys the newest toy for the Locked Up RC crew. This is Jackie's Capra. And I say Jackie's Capra because Jackie has completely built this all herself. I've answered a couple of pretty basic questions for her, but everything from the painting to the beadlock install. And did she make some mistakes? Yeah, she did. But that's okay. She made some mistakes. No, I'm just giving her a hard time. But I think everything's going to work out okay. She will probably be putting electronics and whatnot into this truck tomorrow. Or at least we're going to start that process if anybody wants to tune in for that. We do it in the afternoons. It's not at night. That's because that's when she's at work. So yes, it does need some wheels. She has some wheels picked out, but I actually think we're going to do something a little bit different and special for her, because I like the track width that this currently has. So I have not gone into an in-depth measurement scenario with everything, but the Capra beadlocks are quite open on the inside. And of course, if you look at one of our, and of course that's a steel ring on the inside, hence the rust, because I washed these and just, I let them sit there. Nobody sees the inside, right? Let's see, here we go. Our inner ring, the inner diameter is smaller than the inner diameter on these Capra wheels. So we're gonna have to do some things. So in the works now, we have, similar to our 155, we're going to have some 19 styles that are going to be an internal ring. I'm testing some things to make sure that I get things to fit the way that I want before, obviously, before selling them to you guys. Anyone that does want to run our current lineup of wheels, I believe it was a 350. If you want to run an SLW, I think a 350 was where you want to be, but we'll come back to that probably in her video. So I'll go put this back. So let's see. Where were we? Anything that I left out? Let's see. We had a giveaway last week. We're going to have one again this week. I forgot to mention that in our table of contents. Our winner last week was Freddie Cruz. He has been notified. His prize is a t-shirt. It's on here somewhere over there. We will send that out to you this week, Freddie, if you're watching again. What else? I guess we can just get right into this, because the first thing that I think we're going to end up doing here, and I suspect that I'm going to install and reinstall this housing multiple times. So SSD has their own bracket. You know what? Let's see. Let's make use of our mat that we've got. Excuse me, clearing my throat. The weather has turned here in Texas to, it's subarctic for Texas. No, it's not that cold, but it's nasty and wet, and you know, I feel like we talked about this last week. Nobody knows what to do in Texas when it gets cold. So I definitely need to put some bearings in here. Let's see. I don't generally like to reuse bearings, but these actually look like they're in good shape. Although this one may require a different bearing. No, we're good. Okay. I'm going to just pop the bearings out of this housing since I don't have Eric in here to help me tonight. That's going to be too big. Should have known that. Well, work with me here. There we go. Although the housing itself is crusty, so I don't have spare paper towels. Oh, wait, yeah, no, I don't. Ah, it's got goo on it already. Can't go through life with clean hands all the time, right? Man, I just can't see. You know what? I will be right back. I cannot fathom just putting dirty bearings in there. 6 mount holes. Use outside. Wait, what are we doing? What does that mean? Your wheel winder can be. Let's see. Matthew. Yes. Okay. Wow. Let's see. I missed some comments. How did that wheel have a beadlock ring on both sides? If you get my meaning, Matthew. I cut these screws down on this one. It's that old. You could use M2x1s and put them in the faux holes. We actually covered that, installing some of those last week before. It was in a diff cover, but same principle applies. Yes, actually our wheel widener can be mounted on the front or back. You of course have to use 6 longer screws. You could do a single widener, you could do a double widener. I mean, I guess really for the front, excuse me, For a front application, I don't know that you'd want to add a widener to the inside of the wheels. You would probably encounter some issues with your knuckles, your steering linkage, that sort of stuff. In the rear though, you could probably make a really big fat like drag slick type of tire. Let me go grab those bearings. I'll be right back. Should have had my stuff together before the show, but I didn't. Let's see. 511 by 4, almost out. Need a couple more. Let's see. Take 2 of these and call me in the morning. So, nice, clean, no goo. Suppose I can check those bearings out. Maybe save them, spare bearings, or put them in a mud truck that I know is just going to destroy everything anyway. Does that all make sense, Matthew, with the wideners and everything? If it doesn't, let me know. Happy to try to explain further. Or I could do that for a video next time. Let's see. You know, I just went and got bearings. Why didn't I get the bearings for this too? Although these are probably in better condition because they've lived in grease their whole lives. Still, I can't see myself reusing these bearings. And this is really only because this truck has a lot of mileage. And I don't really want to have to replace these again, but man, I can't feel any play in these guys. Of course, if I could, that would probably be catastrophic, but these probably are the original bearings, so I am just going to go ahead and replace them. In the meantime, come up with some dad jokes. I heard a good one this weekend. My son came up with this, or he probably didn't come up with it, but why can't dinosaurs talk? I need to have some sort of "we'll be right back" commercial that I can run. That's what I need to do. I need to come up with a not actually a commercial, but entertainment for you guys when I have to run out and grab things that I've forgotten. So, why can't dinosaurs talk? Because they're dead. Wah, wah. Yeah, he got me with that one. Good times. Yeah, we had some family visiting this weekend, and we were driving around, and you know, he's 11, and they went antiquing and flea marketing and whatever. He's bored to tears, and so he busted out his mom's cell phone and looked up a whole bunch of terrible, I mean fantastic, but terrible jokes. You know, good stuff. Let's see. Somewhere in here should be opinion. So that's funny. I go to hold it up to this camera and then I forget. Hey, camera right here. That'll work. Either way. If anyone does come across a set of these axles, you will notice that I am installing the aluminum bearing caps instead of the include. Ooh, we may have some damage to the ring and pinion or something just caught up in there because we have ground to a halt. Yep, big chunk of something. Aha. I'm sure there's probably a better tool for this, but oh yeah, that's a nice big. See, I guess that's the problem. Maybe that's a good reason to actually keep your trucks clean, because even when you're on the workbench doing stuff, chunks of dirt will roll around and get into stuff. Just checking it to make sure it feels and sounds good. I don't know why I'm holding it closer to the camera. Well, I do. I'm holding it closer to my ear, not the camera, for those of you that were like, hey, I can't hear that. I could hold it to the microphone. Then. Anyway. Needless, unnecessary silliness. That's what's happening. So, that's a thing. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Let's see. We got to put these in. So we won't use this piece. So these axles come with front and rear 3-link, 4-link optional parts. Let's see. We got this. Try to not cut the webbing with my finger. You guys ever done that? Been using scissors and you go to cut something like this and you just catch that? I feel like that would really be a crappy place to have a wound. I don't think I've ever done that. Hopefully I can avoid doing that forever. I don't know. Let's see. I'm guessing these. I don't even remember which ones I used last time. Let's see. 1, 2. Are there 4 of those? Well, if there aren't 4 of them, then okay, there are got to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's it. Francisco, the Capra, the kit. So Jackie did finish everything in the kit itself, I believe. She maybe hasn't put on the stickers. She has not put the stickers on. She also still has to do electronics. So we will get into that. It's a good shot of my shoulder. That's, see, yeah, I gotta move the tools over so that I'm not constantly. Oh, and then I bumped the camera anyway. Now everything's all shaking. Stop shaking. Haha. Do not adjust your television set. Nobody adjusts television sets anymore. So let's see. Jackie is 98% done with the Capra, other than the stickers and electronics, which we got her a nice Futaba radio and a Hobby Wing ESC to put in. She's already got the servo in there. So really she has to put in the receiver and the ESC. So she'll be learning how to solder. So that will be fun for her, I'm sure. Hopefully she doesn't burn her fingers. But let's see. You know what? We put M2x7 scale hardware in the rear diff cover. So we're going to have to put it in the front for sure. Except this time I'm going to remember to use the metal diff cover that was included. I don't have the tubes that go in here. So the similar to like our gunner tubes, which I had taken out of our other axle. So I'm going to have to make something, but I have not gotten around to that. What's up, Eric? Hey, Red. Yes, where was I? I was building things. Okay. It spins freely. I wonder, I'm going to assume that these are not going to fit in there because that would be way too easy. Actually, you know what? No, I can't be. It can't fit. Yeah, so in the SCX10 original housing, you've got, oh man, I got grease all over me. Let me go grab a rag real quick. So in the original SCX10 housing, you have, well, this is the front. That's not going to help me. The front wouldn't help me. Oh, well, this one's disgusting. Man, sometimes I can't get what I need. So gross. So gross. We're just going to have to explain this, and you guys are going to have to take my word for it. In the original housing, where the screws come through the housing, there's like a built-up whatever you want to call that. Build up. The wall is built up. We'll go with that. The wall is built up inside the housing, and you have to grind it out, cut it out, Dremel it, whatever, to get those tubes to fit in. In this SSD unit, I almost said the wrong thing. In the SSD unit, there is a little lip, but then the housing is just, it's that same thickness all the way through. So any tubes that I would put in here are definitely going to have to be much smaller. This fits in the outside part, and I thought, hey, maybe if there's, you know, just that little built-up wall, I could drop these inside. No such luck. So we will have to go back and figure something out for that, or I'll have to see if I can locate some, whatever. We'll make it happen. Welcome, Freddie. Welcome, Edward. So we have to bust out our hardware. This should be a familiar looking bin at this point. I have to, let's see. Did I just bump the camera? No, we're good there. Something got bumped. Maybe it was the mic. There we go. It's straight on with me now. That's better. I say it's better. I don't really know if it sounds any better. Probably made absolutely no difference to your ear holes. Let's see. What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. So last time we assembled a diff cover, we had Eric helping. And by Eric helping, I mean he did all of it. Eric, I miss you. I don't remember what I was doing while he was doing that. Who knows? Probably off in the background doing silly things. So let's see. This is meh. Maybe cast and then machined. I can't tell. Anyway, it's aluminum, so it will add slightly more weight than the plastic unit. Hey Freddie, glad you like the wheels. Waiting for a body. So Francisco is waiting for a body replacement on his C2X. Then he can finally get out and drive again. We could just drive it and completely finish destroying the body that you have, if that's why you had to replace it. Sometimes it's fun to just have a completely beat body and beat it. I don't know. Woo! So many little parts. How do I manage? I guess after I get some sort of tubes installed in here, well, actually, yeah, we will get this nice and gooey lubed up as well. I believe we've got a breather hole on top. Does that go all the way through? If so, yes, it does. So definitely have to make note. So there is a small breather hole on top that we will want to put a set screw in, because otherwise, God help us, we would end up with, it would just be full of water, and that's probably not going to be fun later on if we're taking things apart. Anybody else up to anything fun building wise tonight, or non-building wise? I know I have not forgotten. I did mention at the top of the show, Happy Veterans Day to everyone. And if you are a veteran, thank you for your service. It is most appreciated. I have family members and some of my good friends that have served in the armed forces, and I support you guys in whatever you do. So, I do wish there was some sort of way I could offer in the shop discounts for first responders, military, police, all of that stuff. Well, I guess police fall into first responders. But unfortunately, in order to do that requires a hugely complex system that we just don't have the throughput for. But one day, hopefully, if we keep making cool stuff and you guys like enough of it, we would be able to do things like that. See, man, I'm forgetting again. What do we got? Let's see, comments. Opened the box and one of the screw mount holes had broken off, so I might paint it and put the body on the shelf. Ah, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. Well, Francisco, I don't know. Let's see, one of these screw mount holes had broken off. If you still have the part, could you maybe, I don't know, I guess it depends on how it broke off. Maybe you could, if it's a standoff or something like that, glue it back together and at least, you know, have a spare, you know, get you some styrene glue or whatever. I don't know what type of body you have. Obviously it's a hard body. I'm guessing the C2X, the body that it comes with. So that would make some sense. That's a bummer. Yeah, it's that nice whole big body that you won't want to run. But again, maybe you could glue the standoff or whatever has broken off back on and load it up with some hot glue, paint it. I don't know. Use it as a spare. How am I actually keep finding pieces of dirt on, oh, because I brought that rag over here. It's like, man, I cleaned all this off. Where's this stuff coming from? Now it's not my problem until I step on it tomorrow. Working on the VUC body and trying to sort out wheels for it. Let's see, I missed a comment. So which of your, Matthew asks, so which of your wheels will have as close to positive offset or will provide the most back spacing? Let's see. If you go to the FAQ on our site, we've got all sorts of stuff on there as far as how the wheels are offset and how you can compare things from the 8L to the SLW to the A08. I would highly suggest reading that in depth. You'll probably have to read it several times because it is quite technical. You may even have to take out a piece of paper and do kind of like your own practice equations. There's a lot that goes into it. I wish we had a calculator of some sort, but we don't. All of the wheels are designed. So our and I'm talking 1.9s, our SLW, our A08, and the 8L are designed so that the 8L should give roughly the same offset and backspacing as an SLW, one of our SLWs, with a 185 hub, or the A08 with the, is it the 285 or the 485? I can't remember. It's on the website somewhere. So all of the wheels start off, they're basically the same width. I say basically, there may be a hair of difference in there. Other than, of course, our wide version wheels, the OEV and the trail ready wides. So really, it's not so much about getting a difference between one of those wheels as is trying to figure out what you need. For something that's got, you know, when you say, let's see, I think you said positive offset, I don't know. To get really like a positive offset, let's see, or the most backspacing, you'd want to run, well, let's see, the most backspacing, I mean, yeah, any of the wheels, I mean, I guess you could add a widener, but that's going to, I think, like I said before, that's gonna, you're gonna run the risk of running into your steering linkage and stuff. Are you, the 2.2s, you'd probably have a better chance of running one of our 2.2s than one of the 1.9s. That would push everything in if you don't mind stretching a tire around a 2.2. That would probably be the best thing I could think of. Hey Jeff, thank you for the compliment. We also love our wheels. So, good on comments. Where am I? Austin, Texas, that's where I am. Haha, dad jokes. Man, oh man. I will say I feel reinvigorated by the cold weather because after months of heat, finally don't sweat walking outside. Let's see. So we're going to attempt to install the bracket that comes with the axle. I believe we're going to end up having to remake this unit, this guy, because our stock bracket that that I made back in the day, again, it was, you know, I had a Dremel and a piece of angle iron and some just gumption. Let's see, what am I doing here? How does this get on there? We've got 2 holes over here, so this must go this way. Booyah kashaka. So they do have 2 holes there, but this one looks like it's just speed hole. It's not, doesn't look like it's sized for any sort of hardware. It probably made it really fast because it's a speed hole. Yes, I just did that. Bad puns, woohoo! Anyway, I believe we're going to end up remaking this bracket to make up for the way that I set up the steering linkage. Now, you know, I say that, but there may be a chance that we don't have to. I just have to see how the steering linkage lines up and everything in here. And honestly, since I'm not really planning on competing with this truck anymore, I probably could just run it the way it was intended to be run. But I don't know. That doesn't seem as fun. Wow, one of those holes way down in there. I think you could easily miss that. I don't even know if they sent a screw for it. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay. Just hard to see. I'm not sure if I'm actually waiting to feel it catch. There we go. Of course, not having the metal tube to screw into makes this, I guess, more of a dangerous operation. Oh, that felt good. It didn't feel good. Okay, so we'll probably still need this, but we can put it right there. Shouldn't need any of those. Probably gonna need a little bit of this. I don't know what this would have gone to. Oh, was that supposed to go down in the hole? No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe. Let's find out. Freddie, the SSD Dana 60s are going on my original SCX10 with an H2 body that is just loved by the masses. Nope, that's supposed to be a button head. We're good. So I don't know where this flathead was intended to go. I don't see anything that's beveled for it anywhere. Well, that was flat, whatever. Maybe that's part of the oh, yep. Found it. 4-link. So, we won't need that. We don't need those. We may need these. So this is all extra stuff. Now, let's see. Now, the other thing that I'm going to have to make up for is that I had cut up my original Hand Brothers 3-link bracket and spaced it backwards so that this was sitting further back from the center line of the axle housing so that my track bar could drop in there. So this is going to be really interesting getting this in there, but we'll get it in there. Yeah, see, that's, I had these really long standoffs in there, even stacked even. So whatever, we'll figure it out. Of course, these are not the most scale knuckles and C's, but it's okay. We're making baby steps, you know. Making baby steps? We're taking baby steps. hopefully we can get this all on there without too much issue. There we go. I don't remember what I had these mounted with in terms of hardware. Oh. It's kind of hard to see in there if I have it clocked properly. Yep, there we go. Okay. What did I have in here for, man, would I have put scale hex bolts there? Probably. I think that's what we're just going to put in for the time being. I think that actually just some regular set screws would probably be more scale in appearance, but that's okay. This is what we got, and that's what we're going to put on there. Yep, okay. Good times. And I do see 4 of those, and they do look disgusting. So they probably were on the axle housings. I will have to hunt for a way to, not hunt for a way to, I don't know what I'm talking about. I gotta go find some set screws, but not right now. I've left the table enough. That's more free grass for anyone that wants weed. No. Yeah, none of that came out the way I intended it. That's okay. Plant. It is free plant matter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see. You know, that reminds me. Dion, are you on here? Did you get in here? I forgot that you had said something about having some more SSD axles. And I think we started talking about it, and then I forgot. Because I'm not sure that I have an application for any more of them. I do have more original SCX10s that I want to modernize the axles on. But I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. So, as you can see, I had this mounted up really high. Maybe this will be a better way to show it. And the reason that I had it that high was just so that it would not run into the front of the pumpkin. I'm hoping that maybe this has a little bit more clearance and I can actually drop this down, because if I can drop this down, in theory, I should be able to make use of this track bar mount location. If not, I will have to basically redesign this whole bracket and make one. And that may take a little bit of time. So we'll just see what happens. Let's see, I don't need to, well, let's see, is my, what's still on here? So the track bar is still mounted to the truck, so this is my drag link. Not sure if I should just slap it in there or what. Let me see, let me get these out of the way so I don't get lost. Good times. It's like a graveyard of rotten disgustingness. Whatever. Somebody give me some news, something fun. What's happening? Oh, see, now I got goo on my mouse because it was on the rag. Man, I need to. It's not good. I did not wash off the truck chassis, really, because I didn't think it had too much stuff on it. I was wrong. It's got a little bit of stuff. Let me see. I guess we'll do the shocks last. Should go through there. Wow, it looks like I even... Man, I got so... We'll just do this real quick. Oh, wait, I don't have to do that. I don't have to take that off. Well, now I can't get this to go back the way it was. I even trimmed off the part of the ball on here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but trimmed off part of this. Wow, clearance on this thing was tight everywhere. Man, I can't even imagine why I had to cut that off, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. Good times. Oh, man. Man, oh man. So I probably need to get a different... Let's see, do I need a different... Well, I probably should, but for now, we're just going to get this thing bolted in, and we will go back and make whatever changes we find necessary as problems arise. Problems are going to arise, and I know it. Let me see. I'm guessing this will look better if I put this in from the front. I know it's going to come probably right back out. I just have to make sure that I don't torque this down too far in an effort to draw this together, since my rod end doesn't take up enough space, or all of the space, I guess I should say. It takes up enough. Oh yeah, that's already squishing together. I don't know. Did I put the wrong screw in? It's the same length. That's crazy long. Well, I'm using the hardware they provided. I hope that doesn't stress out that bracket. And let's see. Got that in. Upper. I guess I should do the upper next. So this must be for the upper. Which... I don't know that it really matters which way I put this in terms of how it's going to make it look. But just going to get it in there. Yeah. Why do I keep putting tools up? I just need them again. Can't get my socket in there, so I will make use of my little pliers. Maybe. Oh, it's still hard to get in there. That's a tight fit. I know you guys can't really see what I'm tightening right now. I just kind of have to do it this way because, well, we'll try it left-handed. Let's see. This actually might be better. I'm just trying to get the upper link mounted to the 3-link bracket on top of the axle housing. I think I got it started, so it should be easier now. Okay, got that on, so we've got 2 things attached. And we have our shocks. And I expect that once this is all bolted together, it's going to be wonky. Yeah, so since I had these standoffs behind this bracket, this is already really short. I can tell without even doing anything. So probably in order to give myself the best shot at this potentially working, I should add the standoff to this link. And I will have to look for a correct length link later. I'm sure I have one. What's up, Sean? What's up, John? Welcome. Yeah, I used an offset rod end on the upper link to get me more space, more clearance for something. I don't even know what at this point, but we'll find out. Let's see how long this is. Pretty long, but I don't think it's long enough for me to add in a, what is that, a 6 or 8 mil spacer and still have enough thread engagement to make myself happy. It's a little short. But I probably have plenty of thread in this rod end. So let me see if I can back it out and see how long this guy is. It's not as long as I thought. So let's see what we got in our box of hardware. It's okay if you can't stay long, Sean. We will forgive you. Let's see. I think I have one longer set screw in here. Looks like it may have taken some sort of damage to the threads. I think that'll be okay though. Huh. Just closed up my bin and still have a set screw out. It's madness. Outrage. It's not really an outrage. Okay, so that should get me a little bit more thread to work with going into my link, although I still would prefer even more. Did I just... Frick! I took the rod end off of my lower link, not the upper link. Damn you, spaghetti monster. It's not funny at all. Who's laughing? None of y'all even caught it. Nobody was gonna say anything. You guys just gonna let me put stuff together wrong. Oh man, good times. It's okay. That's pretty funny, actually. I would have been really confused if I tried to put it all back together that way with two lower links that are different lengths, an upper that's too short. Would have been would have been time to drink. You know. Let's see. Well, this of course is tightening down slightly different because go try and get these parallel. Okay. Actually going to take apart the correct one this time, see if that makes a difference for the better. Let's see how long. Yeah, that's also not as long as I would want it to be. I could probably add a 3 to each end of this. Maybe that would be the smarter thing to do, but I don't have another set screw that is, maybe that's an 18 over here. And I don't feel like leaving the desk again. So since this is really all mock-up anyway, we're just going to get this guy assembled. Yeah, I mean it's even a different diameter. Wow, man, my brain can't shut off yet. Let's see, so 76. I think I have another link somewhere that's about that length. So when I go to do the final something, I'll use a different link. Delicious. Delicious water. Okay, so one more time getting the upper in. I just put this away. That was brilliant. Haha. Based on getting this upper in, I'm thinking that if I had a correct size ball in my rod end, wherever it was over here for the track bar, it would not be pinching the sides of the bracket as much. And that's better to not be pinching the bracket, because if you're pinching it, then it's gonna probably crack off at some point before it should. I mean, you don't ever want it to, but you'd be stressing it unnecessarily. And again, I know you guys can't see exactly what I'm doing, but I promise you're not missing all that much. So, got the upper on. Now, lowers. Get in there, wire. Still seems like it might be a little short. I guess I did have one more spacer on there. Don't feel like taking that apart again, but I probably should. But we'll see what happens. I also don't know how far back that sits. Well, I don't. Totally different housing. Anyway, things are good. Moving along. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. Based on the pinion angle, I would say I definitely need to add to the upper. But maybe not. Yes. Yeah, we might be good. Probably add a little bit to it, so probably adding that other spacer would make it great. I can just never not make things. I can't not do it. We're already here. May as well. So that means I'd probably need a 78mm link. I don't know if I have any of those lying around, but we'll figure something out. I guess I could always use a 76 and a spacer. Prefer to not use spacers, but it happens. Okay, one more time with this. I'll try to do this so that you guys can kind of see a little more of what I'm doing and why I'm using the pliers. Maybe. So between the housing and the bracket, it's just not a whole lot of space for me to get a socket in there. Nothing wrong with that, it's just things are tight. Tight's good, right? That also felt great. It's the downside to using pliers for stuff like that. So nobody else is telling me what they're up to tonight. I can't be the only one doing some nonsense. I mean, I guess I could be. I hope I'm not. Is anybody else building stuff tonight? I think those are the right screws for my shocks. So we're going to see. Shocks and links, right? Let's see. Does not look like I modified these rod ends, so we should be okay to just slide bolts in and see what happens. Well, that's interesting. Just had a light freak out on me. Apparently the light is made by Windows. Shut down and reboot. Can't be good. Can't be good. Let's see. I feel like that should have a spacer. There's a good bit of space between these two ends. And I really just don't like pinching stuff. I think I had a spacer in here before. So let's do this. I'm going to put the spacer on first because that's the easiest thing for me to lose. I'm going to turn my shock this way. Back this off a little bit. Now this should be tight. Yep. Splendid. So scale hardware and a nut. Guess they didn't give me any new nuts, so we'll use the old crusty stuff. Same thing on the other side. Get weight off my son's low-C mini car. Geometry equals good times. Yes. Weight off the chassis. So Sean says he's trying to figure out how to get weight off his son's low-C mini crawler. I am not a good person to answer that question for you, because when I had a low-C mini, I think the thing weighed like 40 pounds. I wish I could easily pull up a picture for you, but man, I made beadlocks out of that thing out of like chunks of steel, because back then that's what everyone was doing, and I don't have one anymore. But I am sure that, let's see, someone could help you out. You know, I wish you guys could post pictures of things in the comments. I don't know if that's even an option. Maybe it is an option. I don't know. I don't see it as an option for me, but that would actually be cool. Of course, if you guys could post pictures, then I'd really want to find a way that I could share the picture. Of course, I guess if you could post it, everyone else could see it, but you know, I don't know. This whole internet thing, it's not going to last. This is a phase that we're all going through. I don't know. Gee, no, I just realized. I think I have Jackie's music playing. Do you guys like the background music tonight? This is actually the background music that Jackie normally uses, not the weird techno dance rave stuff that I like to make everyone listen to. What's up, Ben? Thanks for joining. That's true. Leon, Noel has a good point, Sean. You could run some titanium stuff. I'm sure you could lose weight somewhere. I don't know what the setup is. Let's see. Okay, so we've got majority of our links attached. I have the drag link off for the time being. Let's see what we've done so far. No, actually, it's definitely, so this is what happens when you're shot. Yeah, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I don't know if the camera perspective makes it crazy, but as you can see, my shocks are leaning that way drastically. There's no problem with the housing, and it's not anything to do with the kit. It's because I installed extra long shock shafts in here. So as the suspension swings down, it's going to arc, and that's the way it's going to arc. So just part of running a front 3-link. It would be better, I suppose, at this point for me to probably run a longer track bar and probably drag link so that the whole axle will scoot over a little. But we'll see what happens when it's underweight. I don't think the weight's gonna, yeah, I need a longer track bar on this guy. Which is actually funny, because apparently when I set it up originally, I felt the need to trim this link down a couple of millimeters. Couldn't tell you why I did that, because it was like 10 years ago. So whatever. Anyway, so let's see. With this stuff, our steering geometry, this all looks hokey. And those knuckles are sitting way back. I may actually have to, I wonder, so you can see one of these steering arms is just kicked up more than the other one. They're both threaded in through the same hole. I don't even know how that would happen. What am I missing here, folks? This steering arm is kicked way back. Is that just the... No, that's not changing it. I wonder how is that even possible that they are different? Because this side does not look kicked back as far. It's kicked back a little. But yeah, they're different. Well, that's not cool. It's not cool at all. Oh, Sean, if it's totally stock from what I remember. Actually, yeah, man, it's been so long. Is the chassis steel? I feel like for some reason those things had steel chassis. That would be a definite place you could lose weight. As a matter of fact, I think on mine I had an old DNA Slingshot Mini or something like that. So let's see. I am wondering what is going on here. Did I... You know what? Shit. I think I missed. So this would explain why. Found the problem. User error. I did not have the inner C pushed on all the way, and I thought I did. And I put screws in. Hopefully I have not jacked anything up beyond repair. So let's see. So if we slide this, it seems like it doesn't want to go in anymore though. What am I missing? Yeah, man. So you can see I accidentally punched a second hole in the housing. I didn't even notice that went in so easily. I am not able to get this in further. What is the deal? Well, that is disappointing. Okay. It's very strange. I am going to just take this knuckle and C apart to see if I can get the C on. Perhaps the axle is not going into the locker all the way like I would want it to. Oh god, this has not been taken apart in a while. Nothing to see here. Move along. Got random screw holes everywhere now. Man, I am bummed that I did that. Okay, so the C goes on without problem. That definitely corrects my alignment issue as far as that is concerned. But now I'm gonna have to figure out, gotta make sure I'm putting it in the right hole. It's important. I'm gonna have to figure out why it felt like the axle shaft was not going in. I mean, I thought I felt it slip in, but it wasn't actually all the way in. Man, I am bummed that I did that because now I have an extra hole in my housing. I may end up taking this front housing and putting it in the back for strength purposes. So since I poked extra holes in there, in the rear, you're not getting a whole lot of anything really happening to your lockouts in the rear, but in the front you definitely are. So before this thing gets run, I will have to switch the housings around. Eric, remind me if you are over and we have nothing to do, because I know that happens so frequently. Let's see. Oh, this is going to be... Okay, let's see. First things first, let's see if we can get this to go in all the way. Oh, something just went for a ride. Let's see. My little hat. Free hat, free hat. Okay. Is it... Well, so I have a bearing on one side that I didn't have on the other side. Was that, did I do that on purpose? Did I accidentally take one of the bearings out of the differential and try? So at some point I had done something wrong, which happens. Yep, that's better. Okay. So let's see. I don't know why I was trying to slide that bearing in there. I know the stock housing usually has a bearing in there. I don't really think it's necessary, but I usually do put a bunch of goo in there, and usually I have a big tube. So I may actually want a bearing in there to keep goo in and dirt out. I'm not going to worry about it right now because, like I said, I've already decided I'm going to have to swap the housings around front to back because of user error. Oh, come on. And these little hat bushings drive me crazy. Flange pipe bushings, whatever you want to call them. It's like you got to get everything lined up just right. It's already hard enough. There we go. Come on. Yeah. Okay. So close. So close. And then I'm sure we'll have to take it apart for some other reason. That's all the fun. Leave it to me to poke a hole in an axle housing that you can't even buy anymore. Dope. Hey, Sean, glad I could help. Yeah, thank you, Leon. The caster definitely was off. I think we have that corrected now. Yes. Woohoo! Okay, one thing down. I would swap them too. Yes, yeah, I'm definitely going to. I need to. You guys remind me if this all works out at the end of it that I basically have to take everything apart again. Yes, love having to take everything apart. Actually, I don't really mind it. So let's see. We've got. I wonder what I was using for my. That's really long. I don't even know what some of these extra screws went to. I bet that was my upper. Sorry, some of the things I'm saying right now probably just don't even make any sense, but sometimes my brain just thinks out loud. And you know what? I forgot I was going to try to hook up. So let's see. With the tie rod, yeah, that's insanely high. So with the tie rod configured the way that I had it on the other axle, you can see how high it sits up. And you can also see that the drag link and the track bar would be on vastly different planes, and this would be a total cluster. You do not want that. So I'm going to flip the tie rod back down to how it would be in a normal configuration, which is tie rod under and drag link over, and we will see what that gets us in terms of drag link and track bar angles, because we definitely want those to be the same. Otherwise you get bump steer, and I know it's not like driving a full-size vehicle, but in an RC, if you get bump steer, that basically means you have a floating endpoint, and that's how you kill servos. Which just makes me think of the TV show Archer. Anybody ever watch Archer? That's how you get ants. Do you want ants? Man, I haven't seen that show in a long time. I think at some point they started doing some like weird, I don't know, variations. And they just didn't speak to me like the old show, so I stopped watching. So this probably will be better for my inner sidewall clearance as well. Save that. Because I think in the past I had actually run into a couple of hiccups with my tire catching. Not badly. And I think I replaced the tires it was the worst on. Yeah. Anyway, things change. Roll with the punches. I guess I could flip this over so you guys can see all the hot RC action. Okay, so we're getting close. Getting close to mock-up version 1. I definitely need to put the shorter shock shafts on. Although, you know, I also have these big bumpers in here. I think my tires will probably eat the truck body. Called it a truck. The H2 body. And why is this seems so off? Wow, even dropping that down, my angles are not good. Now I know I have an offset rod end on there, so that's going to change it a little bit. But this is definitely off more than I want. So let's see, if I add, well, I already added to the upper link once. If I add more to the upper link, that's going to kick everything down. That will help this situation a little bit. I'm not putting the drag link underneath the knuckle. That would be too much. So we'll just have to play with this. I guess that's the nice thing about having your own custom track bar bracket cut, is that you can do whatever you want, basically. Now I'm wondering, I'm looking at these C's. I think if I turn them, I think it's going to be, they're going to be pointing down. Yeah, I just need to add to the upper more because that will help with this and it will bring my pinion up. Which, yeah, I mean, I know it should be, I know how it should be, but it's not how it's going to be. Things are going to happen. Let's see. So we're changing the upper. Oh, taking things apart, putting them back together. Good times. How are we on time? Oh, man, we're already over an hour. Holy mother of God. I didn't even realize it. These hours are just too short. I don't get enough done. Oh, this is going to make it even less fun because now I got my shock on. And the link, but that's okay. Well, you know, we're just going to have a longer show tonight. That's how it's going to happen. Camera's right here, right next to my head. It's hard to see. Okay, let's see. That's going to make me want to get a longer link, isn't it? Curses. I don't have a whole lot more thread on this set screw. Where are we? This guy. So I don't know about adding a whole lot more spacer, but I believe I can possibly swap out this rod end for one that's just a bit longer, because this is an old stock axial rod end and it's quite short. So compared to the Traxxas, yeah, that's going to be like adding a 4mm spacer. So I will have to dig in my pile of parts and find a rod end. Maybe I have one in here. Maybe. Maybe I don't. But I want it to be a trackless rod end. Wait, I have some of those somewhere. We use them on the TF2. Haha. I guess it's good to have random spare parts all over the place, right? Thought we used, yep, there we go. Actually, nope, that's too short. Okay. Okay, it's already got a set screw in it. Yay. So this will buy us a couple more millimeters on this upper. Excuse me. Well, that's not the right tool. That's not going to do it. There we go. Now I'm not even going to put the nut on this because I want to just see what happens. Because the lower links I feel like are predetermined based on where I want the tires to sit in the wheel well. Oh, this is extra fun to try and get in there with the shock in the way. Come on. Go in. There you go. So I am gonna, that's actually really loose sitting in there, so I'm gonna put the nut on just like a turn so that this doesn't just fall out when I flip the truck over. I say that, but it's not making it easy. Okay. So, let's see what we got now. So, we've actually still got, yeah, that's good. That's better. So, and it may not actually look like it, but I think our links are actually lining up now. So you have to remember this track bar has a, excuse me, has an offset right end on it, and part of the reason I may have done that was just because the drag link also has one, and I wanted the links to be equal because, hey, that's important. So this actually may be okay. So I'm going to find a screw. Going to put this into the servo horn, and I'm going to cycle the suspension to see if it looks like we've got bump steer. Because if we do, we can fine tune it out over time, but I just want to see if we're close. It's actually pretty close. I don't see the knuckles turning. Oh, I guess you guys can't see that. So I don't see the knuckles turning side to side. So I think we're actually on the money. Now the housing to me, the housing to me looks like one side is sitting a little further back. I know it's probably hard to get a correct perspective and everything with the camera. If something's not lined up exactly right, it probably looks crazy. That could be because the whole chassis is bent, because this truck has fallen off of many cliffs. or it could be that one of my links is a slightly different length. But I think we're in a good place right now with this. So I'd actually call this successful, and honestly, I'm okay with having the tie rod down further where it is right now, because I think it still is going to afford me, yeah, a good amount of steering. So I probably need to center up the servo horn. Yeah, so that's off center. So let's see, yeah. So we're gonna have to play around with some of the different links and their length, the drag link and the track bar. But we're in okay shape. Surprisingly enough, everything clears on the inside. I mean, that's just barely clearing the servo horn. Let's see. We have, I think, full compression over here. Yeah, we're in good shape. Yeah, the chassis is definitely not perfectly straight. So, note to self, when you're setting up suspension, make sure your chassis is straight, because otherwise it makes everything look real wonky. So we have to try to straighten things. I don't know. I have some spare frame rails, but man, I am not taking off the frame rails. This is just going to have to be, you know, salvage. This is my salvage title H2. That's what this is. So I forgot the drive shaft, but that's okay because we're going to have to switch the housings front to back. I can probably do that off camera because there's not really anything exciting about that. That's okay. That'll give me something to do. We put the drive shaft back in. I still want to make some tubes for it. Still need to play around with the links, and as you can see right now with the servo horn straight, my steering is definitely off to one side. Part of that is, actually I don't know what part of that is. I don't know why that would be. I have to mess around with some stuff and figure it out. Again, got to play with links. I'm thinking that this angled offset, not angled, I'm thinking the offset rod end is probably not what was intended originally for this guy or this guy, but I don't think we'd want to run a shorter track bar because then the housing would be further over that way. So gotta tell you, I'm not exactly sure why this is the way that it is, but we'll play around with it. You know, one other thing I could always do is swap out this Hand Brothers kit for one of our Pro CMS kits. That would give me a little more adjustability front and back for the servo. That may help with some of the clearance issues. But for now, I'm happy. So that's where we are. I guess, let's see, it has been, man, almost an hour and a half. I gotta find something to give away. Don't know if anything in here is really fun to give away. What's in this box? Got an FI spool. It's greasy. Got an FX4. FXR. Ooh. What could we give away? I know what we're going to give away. So, after painting her Capra, Jackie decided that since she made the pilot and co-pilot blue, she wants to run blue beadlock rings. Oh, I don't know what just happened there. Seems like everything kicked off and then went back on. It's a glitch in the matrix. Anyway, so Jackie decided she's going to run blue beadlock rings on her Capra, which means these super limited edition, I'm going to call these a copper color because I don't really know what else to call them. They're kind of a light not really light orange. I don't know. Rose gold, maybe, if you've seen one of those iPhones. I don't know if the camera is actually going to pick up the true color of these, but we have some Agile beadlock rings that we're going to give away. So if you'd like to win these beadlock rings, you need to like our Facebook page. So you have to like the Facebook page. And I don't just mean like you have to like it. You have to physically go in on Facebook and click like for Locked Up RC. And share this video. Next Monday, midday, I will go through this. I'll go back to this video. I will find all the people that shared the video. I will pick someone. From the person that I pick, I will go back to our Facebook page and cross-reference to make sure that they liked it. Facebook has a way for us to search by your name to make sure you've actually liked the page. It's like they want us to do giveaways, and that's fine. So if you'd like to win these rings, please like our page, share this video. You can share it wherever you want. I do ask that you share it somewhere that's reasonably relevant. If you've got a local crawler group, that's a great place, something like that. Or you can just share it to your timeline, feed, whatever. And I think that'll do it. We did not get to more of our Hey OK 6-volt controller. Still didn't get back to the TF2 shock hoops. That's okay. That just means we have stuff to do next week. I thank all of you for watching. I don't see, let's see, before I sign off, let's make sure there's no questions. Let's see, stickers, everyone loves stickers. No, yeah, we're good. I think we're good with the rings, but maybe we'll do some stickers next time. So that's going to be it for tonight. I think we covered everything right. We've got the axle back in, pile of parts, that's successful. Yeah, we're good to go. Thank you everybody for watching. I will see you next week.